Former Deputy Prime Minister Dr Toh Chin Chye died at his home at 9:30 a.m. on Friday at the age of 90. Dr Toh's contributions to Singapore were significant and wide-ranging, and condolences poured in from dignitaries, former and current members of parliament, and government ministers. Former Prime Minister Mr Lee Kuan Yew said in a statement, "With his passing, Singapore has lost an historic figure in our fight for justice and independence. We were comrades for many years, from our student days at the Malayan Forum in London from 1950 until his retirement in 1981. I will confine myself to my recollection of him as a man of strong character. He was a redoubtable fighter for equality for all peoples, regardless of race, language or religion. Brought up in Taiping, Malaysia, he was determined that there should be no discrimination against anyone because of his race. He was tenacious in his beliefs. Once his honour is challenged, he was like a bulldog, never letting go of the offender. I send my condolences to his son-in-law, Johnny Ng." Dr Toh co-founded the People's Action Party in 1954 and was its first chairman. Throughout his 22 years in the cabinet, he had served as Deputy Prime Minister, Minister for Science and Technology, and Minister for Health. He retired from politics in 1988 and is survived by his son-in-law, Mr Johnny Ng, and 4 grandchildren. The mood at Dr Toh's wake was sombre.
Personally, I did not have the chance to work with him. I came into Parliament after he had left, after he had stepped down. But as a young man, as a boy, he always was somebody in our consciousness. He spoke clearly, he spoke convincingly and with passion in all the things that he did. I remember his speeches, even as a young man, as a young boy. And it struck me also as someone who is always full of passion and believed in what he did. We all owe him a great deal for what we have today. He struck me as a very passionate person, very fiery speaker, great belief in the things that he stood for. And he was always, in my consciousness as one of the founding fathers of Singapore.
Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong said in his condolence letter, "Throughout his career, Dr Toh dedicated himself to the task of nation building, so that, as he said, every race, every community has a share in the prosperity of Singapore. He recognized this as the foundation of a united and cohesive nation, and commented in retirement that his greatest pleasure was that there were no more race riots."
I didn't know him well. He left Parliament the same time when I entered Parliament. But of course, I knew of him, read of him, heard of him by reputation, and he left an imprint on me. A kindly gentleman, clear in his views, treated me as if I was a peer, which on thinking back would have been a little strange because I was still in my late 30s. He did not press any view too strongly, but it was clear to me that he was a person with clear views.
At around 8 p.m. on Friday, President Tony Tan and his wife Mary arrived at the wake to pay their last respects.
He served as a backbencher, and a very outspoken backbencher, as I remember, for 2 terms, making his views clear. And when he felt it was necessary, expressing views very passionately and cogently, even if these were different from what the government advocated. Dr. Toh always worked fiercely for what he believed in. And I think this is what younger Singaporeans should try and take away, to have a cause to fight for what you believe in. He believed in Singapore. He worked for it all his life, always contributing, always trying to do his best for the country. And I hope this is what young Singaporeans will take away.
Dr Toh left instructions for a private funeral which will be held at Mandai Crematorium on February 7th. As a mark of respect to one of Singapore's founding fathers, The government will accord Dr. Toh the honour of being borne on the ceremonial gun carriage for his final journey to the Mandai crematorium. The state flag on all government buildings will be flown at half-mast on the day of the funeral. Watch our other clips for tributes to the late Dr. Toh.